The journey of the astronaut began long before they ever dreamed of touching the stars. As a child, they would gaze up at the night sky, fascinated by the pinpricks of light scattered across the black canvas. They would lie in the grass for hours, imagining what it might be like to float among the stars. That dream never faded. Through years of school, through setbacks and challenges, it grew stronger. When they were selected for astronaut training, it was the culmination of a lifetime of hard work, discipline, and sacrifice. Training was grueling. Early mornings bled into late nights, and the physical demands were immense. They pushed their body to the limit, preparing for the harsh realities of space. But the mental strain was just as intense. They had to be ready for isolation, for the unimaginable stress of being hundreds of miles above Earth in a vessel that could fail at any moment. But they thrived. Their focus was unmatched, their determination unwavering. They earned the respect of their peers and became a shining example of human perseverance. When the mission was announced, the world watched. This was not just any mission, it was historic. The astronaut would join a team that would conduct crucial experiments, test new technologies, and serve as an inspiration to millions. The launch day arrived with all the fanfare one would expect. The crowd gathered, holding their breath as the countdown echoed across the field. 10, 9, 8, and then the roar of engines, the fire and smoke propelling them into the unknown. For a moment, everything else fell away. The fears, the doubts, the burdens, they all vanished as Earth became a small blue marble behind them. In space, everything felt perfect. The astronaut floated through the International Space Station, every movement deliberate and graceful. The team worked seamlessly, conducting experiments and sharing laughs during downtime. They watched sunsets and sunrises, 16 of each every day, and marveled at the auroras dancing across the Earth's atmosphere. But as peaceful as space seemed, something dark was brewing back home. Unbeknownst to the public, the astronaut had been struggling with personal issues. The pressures of the mission, combined with a strained relationship on Earth, had created a storm within them. Their partner had grown distant, and rumors of infidelity began to surface. The person they had trusted the most was slipping away, and with them, the sense of stability the astronaut had clung to for so long. Upon returning to Earth, the hero's welcome felt hollow. They smiled for the cameras, waved to the cheering crowds, but inside, they were unraveling. The love they had once known was gone, replaced by coldness and betrayal. Every accolade, every award felt meaningless without the person they had once shared it with. In a fit of desperation, they began to monitor their partner's life obsessively. Late nights were spent combing through messages, piecing together evidence of betrayal. It became an all-consuming fixation. When they discovered the identity of the person they believed had taken their partner away, something inside them snapped. The disciplined, logical astronaut who had survived the vacuum of space was overtaken by raw emotion. They packed a bag, filled with items that spoke of their intent: pepper spray, a steel mallet, rope, and even adult diapers to avoid stopping. The plan was chilling in its precision. They drove for hours, fueled by heartbreak and rage, toward a confrontation that would change everything. When they arrived, it was late at night. They waited in the shadows, adrenaline coursing through them. But before they could act, police intervened. A concerned onlooker had noticed their erratic behavior and called for help. The arrest made headlines around the world. The story of a celebrated astronaut descending into obsession and crime was irresistible to the media. Every detail of the case was scrutinized, every misstep magnified. The nation, once captivated by their bravery in space, now watched in disbelief as they stood in court, accused of attempted kidnapping and assault. The trial was a spectacle. The defense argued that the stress of space travel and the unique pressures of their life had fractured their psyche. Experts debated the effects of long-term isolation, the mental toll of being a public figure, and the devastating impact of personal betrayal. The prosecution painted a different picture, one of a calculated, dangerous individual who had plotted to harm another. The verdict was guilty. Sentenced to time behind bars, the astronaut was now a prisoner of their own choices. The cell was small, cold, and suffocating. The silence was no longer peaceful but oppressive. They spent days reflecting on the path that had led them here. Letters poured in, some offering sympathy, others expressing disappointment. They read each one, finding solace in the rare words of encouragement. Over time, they sought redemption. They participated in counseling, speaking openly about the mental health challenges they had faced. They worked to understand their actions, to find a way to rebuild. Though they would never regain the status they once held, they found a new purpose in sharing their story as a cautionary tale. They spoke to others about the dangers of unchecked emotions, the importance of seeking help, and the possibility of finding redemption, even in the darkest moments. Years later, released from prison, they walked outside and looked up at the night sky. The stars were still there, distant and untouchable, but no longer a source of pain. They were a reminder that even in the vastness of the universe, it is our choices that define us. And while they had fallen, they had also found a way to rise again, changed but not defeated.